Hello everyone, I'm Simone Negri. I'm a loan officer here in Florida, and today I'm talking to Mr. Khalid Muneer. Khalid, how are you today?
I'm good. Always good to talk to you, Simone. And although the circumstances could be better, but we're going to keep going.
Exactly. Khalid, could you tell us what you do? I know you for such a long time, but I know that many people know you, and many people that I know you, and who I don't know, they know you as well. But maybe there is someone out there that are not familiar with you. Could you introduce yourself?
Thank you. Thank you for those kind words, Simone. Well, I own a real estate company, Jupiter Properties Inc., which is based in Orlando. I started the company about 18 years ago. And I've been in the real estate business for the last 23 years. And my company has 32 agents, and they're from 18 different countries, and they speak 17 different languages. So it's got a very good international flavor. They speak languages like Mandarin and Portuguese and Spanish and Arabic, and so we cover pretty much a fairly good chunk of the market, diversified market in Central Florida. In addition to that, I'm running for the office of Orange County Property Appraiser this year. The primary elections are in August, in November, and my experience is that I've been appraising properties for 23 years in my business. So I'm very, very well versed in what's involved in appraising properties and how complicated the situation is. So I look forward to your support, Simone.
That's great. Thank you. And then I have a question for you. So many people has been asking me, and we have been having this discussion. And I said, well, it's better if I bring someone that has more experience than I have. So the question that everybody has been asking, should I wait to purchase a house to due to today's circumstance, as real estate value could drop? What do you what is your recommendation?
Well, Simone, there's differing views on that. So basically, what you're going to look at is the plus and the negative sides of it right now of the market. COVID-19 has hit the Central Florida economy very bad. According to the latest survey conducted by the Orlando Economic Partnership, 87% of the businesses in Central Florida have been affected. So it all comes down to the plus. The plus point right now is, of course, as you being in the finance business, the mortgage rates are probably at all-time low, around about 3.25%, 30 years. Mm-hmm. So that means your monthly payments are substantially down compared to, say, about a year ago. Secondly, you are going to have a wave of people moving from areas like New York. The ones from California will probably move to Texas, but we will see a substantial movement, which is a change from the last few years, where most of the inflow in Central Florida here was from Miami and not from New York, as in previous decades. So there is that demand, newly created demand, which is going to be in the market, which should hold the prices to its current levels. Now, you might see uneven effect on prices. In other words, as far as your affordable housing is concerned, the median price of property in Central Florida has been around about $240,000 recently. So you will see for the price range from 200 to 400,000, probably a good demand and a steady probably increase in prices. The sector of the market that is really vulnerable is really the $500,000 plus prices. That is very vulnerable right now. But there again, if people move from New York to here, and they sell their properties at the asking prices there, that should also see a pretty stable market. So right now, I'm forecasting this market to stay stable for a while, unless we have a second round of COVID. But the demand should keep the market buoyant, because the problem over the last 6 years has been this inequality of supply and demand. It's been seller's market. So hopefully we'll get more of a balance now. and prices should stay stable. And I don't see any substantial drop in the prices.
Great. It's a great news for us. So, see, there's a reason why we have you here. It's always good to hear from a person like you that has been in the market for such a long time and is running for the office now. So as you are running for the office, tell us a little bit more, what would be your main job as an appraiser here in Florida, in Orange County per se?
Well, the role of the property appraiser is to appraise the properties, all the properties, commercial, residential, hospitality, hotels, timeshare units, etc. That's the tangible plus the intangible properties in a fair and equitable way. And then 50% of the revenue of Orange County really comes from the property taxes. So currently you have a $4.4 billion, which is the county budget, Orange County budget. Out of that, 2.1 comes from the from property taxes from the Orange County Properties Office. So he has a substantial responsible position as far as contribution to the Central Florida economy budget of the county is concerned.
Wow, very good. So that is your job. And those appraisers that go to people's house to see if the house value is correct for the price that they're asking for. So who they respond to? They respond to you, they respond to somebody else. What is their job in conjunction with yours?
Well, actually, the property appraisers that you're talking about are the ones that have been engaged by the lenders. Mm-hmm. By the lenders in order to appraise the property for financing purposes. So their function is different. Their function, they are responsible to the client, which could be the lender or the other people. As far as the Orange County property appraisers are concerned, they report directly back to the Orange County property appraiser. So based on the values, they are converted into assessed values, which is used for tax purposes. So you have the market values, then you have the assessed values, and then of course, based on the millage rate, which is really set by the county commissioners, the property taxes are calculated on that basis.
Right. So when you say the tax for the houses, tell me, sometimes we see that a property, I suppose, is appraised for $200,000 in one area, and then we shift it to a different street, has different tax value. That is a reason for that?
Yeah, basically, when you look at properties, you're comparing two properties. The location is very important, plus the fact that each property will have a different value in terms of the upgrades, for example. One will have, say, $100,000 worth of upgrades, so the value of that property is different from another property which doesn't have those upgrades. So that's one of the most significant factors. Location. Real estate is very important. And then, of course, all the other factors that go into physical location, environmental issues, they could be involved in there. The legal issues, it's neighboring properties might be going through eminent domain, etc. There might be some undesirable businesses located in one location compared to the other. So there's a whole range of complex factors that are used when a property appraiser is evaluating the properties for assessment purposes.
Okay, so when you're talking about affordable housing, so you don't see many change in the price of those properties during this pandemic time or after the pandemic time. So even though we have a lot of unemployed people, do you think that the market is going to be sustained and the price where it is right now is because of the government is helping with that? Is because of the builders? Who has the most influence in this market?
Well, when you talk about affordable housing and employment, I mean, there is a lot of unemployment. Disney has furloughed 100,000 people, and that's just one organization.
Yeah.
We've been seeing some of those issues recently in my company also. We had closings that was supposed to take place on the day before. The lenders called up the employers to verify the employees, and then they found that the employee had lost his job a couple of days before, or the HRD departments are closed, so they can't get verification of employment. So all those factors are there in the market. But there again, what you're going to see in this new world the day after, you're also going to see structuring of jobs, structuring of companies, structuring of employment. For example, there'll be new jobs created. Right now, there is a big demand for anything that's got to do with cleaning, sanitation, etc. So what you'll probably see is a lot of those jobs in the hospitality industry, etc., being shifted into other service industries. So that should keep the lid. That should keep the market pretty stable in terms of job in Central Florida. I know over the years, the economy has been heavily dependent on the tourist industry, but we have managed to diversify quite a lot over the last 10 years in terms of attracting some of the other companies from other areas, geographical areas like up north, etc.
Great. So, last question. As you are running for the office, tell us, what benefit can you bring to the community? We already know your value because I know you for such a long time, great broker, partner, and everything you have done for the community. But you as our Orange Appraiser, what the community will see, what we can expect?
Well, Simone, one of the things is that you probably noticed there has been all kinds of stuff going on in the Orange County Properties Appraiser's office over the years. You had 140 employees, for example, leave for no reason other than being professionals, etc. We've seen some misuse of public funds, money that of hardworking taxpayers being used for purposes other than they should have been used. So my main thing is, a couple of things is that, first of all, I have to stop this wasteful spending that has done. Determine the fair and equitable value for the assessment purposes. So I have an agenda, and I hope to make the office more efficient. For example, that it's located in the most expensive. The office of the property is located in the most expensive part of Orlando, downtown. Now, the rent of that is over $2 million. The property appraisers that are doing the appraisal all day long, they're out in the field out there. They don't need to be sitting in the most expensive real estate. So there's over $2 million just wasted there. So I have a few other ideas in mind, which I'll be putting forward in due course during my interviews. But the bottom line is, I want to make the office more efficient. I want to make the office more accountable. And most of all, I want to bring the trust back to the office, which has been missing for the last 7 years.
Great. Thank you so much for all you said. And with all of us, definitely want to have a person that we can trust and people know you. And I know that everybody that I know knows you. We are looking forward to see our community growing and having better people dealing with our money, definitely. So people have my contact and yours. If you who is watching us have more questions, they can email you. I'll put your email out there and your telephone number, and we'll be here. And if you have more questions, just send us questions. We'll be glad to answer any questions by phone, email, or here online, and give everybody what they want to know. So thank you so much. Be safe, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Simone. Always a pleasure talking to you.
This pleasure is all mine.